Paul, do you get as fed up answering these questions about injuries as we are at having to constantly start a press conference with what's the injury situation?
I'm getting fed up with the injuries. It's not the questions. No, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm starting to see a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. Um, we've obviously got the long termers with Scott, Brennan Dickinson, and Josh Dixon, who are still working indoors at the moment. But Joel Senior has been out on the grass for this week, starting to do some running and some ball work. Toby's been out on the grass. He's not today. He's gone down to do some biodex testing to see where the strength levels are, comparing quads and hamstrings and left and right and that sort of stuff. So he's doing that. Out on the grass doing a full session today with us was Amari, Morgan, Ryan Edmondson, Ben Barkley. So they're really positive. Obviously we've lost Sonny for however many weeks. He's with us this week, but then goes down to Fulham for a week of his early rehab next week. Jamie Devitt has his second injection on Monday, and he's feeling quite positive after the first one. So there's lots of good signs. I still think this weekend's too early for Ryan and Ben Barkley, but I'm hopeful that there's no reaction from Morgan and Amari, and they'll be available for selection for the group for this weekend. So we're starting to get there, but it's been really frustrating. But it's odd because I don't know whether, I don't know, maybe technology, maybe the levels of physiotherapy have improved over years, maybe our levels of diagnosis on injuries. I don't know. I could also say some negative things, but I'm not going to. But maybe they've all improved, and we're picking up lots more injuries, or we're diagnosing more injuries than we used to have. But it seems though right up and down the country, there's so many teams who are struggling with injuries and different bits and bats. So we're not the only team. We're the only ones that we're bothered about. But last Tuesday night, with 11 players out injured, that tests any squad. And I suppose that's credit to the players who are still fit and available, that they've been able to go and get a draw away at Newport and a win at Grimsby on Tuesday night.
That is an important factor there. There's 4 points, and I know there was disappointment in certain areas after both games, but actually, two really tough away games, 4 points. We'll have that.
Yeah, my disappointment on Saturday was the bigger one. I was delighted to win on Tuesday. I even said to Paul Hurst, I accept you dominated the ball, but I don't care. I said we scored 2 goals, and that's what's important. It's all right having 60 whatever percent possession it was. You don't stick the ball in the back of the net, or you don't work the goalkeeper, you're not going to score goals. So we did. Yeah, we come under a bit of pressure, but I'd rather take a 2-1 win than have 60 odd percent possession and lose. So that was the big thing from Tuesday. Really pleased with that. Now we've got to make it count. We've got a really good home game to come against Crewe Alexandra, which will be tough. We understand that, but a great game for us to go and give our fans something to shout about, and really sort of cement our place up in the top places wherever we are.
Again, picking up on what you said there, when your squad has been tested and when it does come through the way it has, that must give you a good feeling as to what's in the dressing room there.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's I've known what's in the dressing room though since pre-season, to be honest with you. So even people like Nick Bellado and Ryan Carr who are coming into it now because numbers are down, I knew in pre-season that if they were called upon, they'd be able to come and do a job for us. Nick came on at Newport and did that role for us and got us through to get the point. Ryan hasn't had his opportunity yet, but everybody's pulling in the right direction, and that's what we've got to keep. We're going to have a situation in a few weeks' time. Fingers crossed, we're going to have lots of bodies available for us. So that's when it becomes a test of what the character's like in the group and what the togetherness is like, because we have to make sure even though if we're not in the side, we have to still enjoy the team winning and know that when their opportunity comes, it's much easier to come into a winning team and a settled team than coming into a team that's losing and you're scrapping for your lives.
I think you've told us this, but just to clarify on the four who trained today, was that full on, no holds barred, proper training session?
It was today, yeah. We've done what we tend to do on a Thursday for about a Tuesday night game. There's a group who do an upper body circuit in the gym first, and then they go and do a recovery session at the Everlast gym. The rest of them come out on the grass and they do a top-up session. So we've had 13 outfield players have gone out on the grass today, and those four lads were part of that top-up group. So they've done real intense work, a lot of stopping and starting. The one thing that we probably don't get in that type of session is the long extensive runs where you're really having to get up towards top pace. But during the session, Jamie puts in a couple of runs so that they have to get minimum of 90 to 95%. I think we had two of them got to over 90%, two of them were below 90%, so we'll see what happens. But they are joining in full training. They will train again on Friday, depending on whether they get a reaction or not, and then we'll assess it for the weekend.
When you talk about foundations to build on, and you're in 8th spot with 1 league defeat to your name, we've got a real foundation here. And at times you've had to react and change the team minutes before kickoff. Again, this is solid to build on.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of an analogy because I've just moved into a house and I've watched them building it. So I think we've probably got the cement in place of the foundation, but we haven't started putting the breeze blocks in there yet. I think the first 10 games have given us that cement. We now need to start over these next 10 games of getting the breeze blocks in place and then building up from there. And then hopefully when it's 20 to 30 games, we can start getting bricks in place. And who knows, 30 to 46, we might get a roof on and we'll all be happy. So we're getting there. We are. I'm really pleased with what we've done so far. If somebody had offered me this at the start of the season, I promise you I would have took it. I'm still demanding more. I still spoke to the players the other day on Monday about the points that I think we've left somewhere. And I suppose every manager's saying the same. But as I said earlier, this is the only ones I'm bothered about. I'm only bothered about us. I'm bothered about how we go about it, making sure we keep improving, making sure we're better. And if we keep improving, then we'll be okay.
It's straight at us back in July, I think it was, saying 10, 12 games, that's when we start to look. Let's not get excited now. We're there now. How much do you assess and reassess with where we are?
Well, I'm always assessing. I'm not really reassessing at the moment. And it's only 10. So there's 2 more yet. Now we've given ourselves a good start, haven't we? That's the first thing. You want points on the board. My first target always is safety. So I want 42 points. I hope 42 points is the total. It has been over the last 6 seasons. So I want to get to 42 points as soon as possible. Once we get that, and we'll see how many games have gone, we'll see where we are in the table and see how everybody else is doing, because I'd be very surprised if Leyton Orient can carry on the run that they're on, picking up the number of points. I mean, this is, well, I don't know. This must be record breaking. I can't think of many other teams that have started a season like this. It's an incredible tally. Let's hope the wheels come off them. Be nice if they come off when we get them up here in a few weeks' time. But we're just going to keep going, and we'll see where we are when we need to reassess.
Crewe look like it happens to teams when they come from a division above into the lower division. They start to struggle a little bit, but they're still hard to beat.
Oh, they're all hard to beat. They're all going to be tough games for us. And we've got 2 players coming back here who served the club well in Kelvin and Rod. We have to do everything we possibly can to make sure they don't have a good day. And that's not me picking on them. I don't want them to come and have an enjoyable afternoon back here. I hope they get a good reception, but I hope they're going off disappointed, because we have to do what we do. It's got to be about what we do this weekend, and this weekend for me is about a mentality, a desire, to make sure that we don't throw away the good work that's happened in these last 2 games. There's no point. I hate this thing about after the Lord Mayor's show, where you have a big result on the road and then you come back home and you let everybody down. We can't afford to do that. If we want to achieve anything, whatever that anything is, we have to cement our place up there by winning this weekend. It's as simple as that.
And with 2 of those players, you say, possibly available to add to the group that you had for Tuesday night. Even on Tuesday night, we've got players staking a claim to say, hang on a minute, Gaffer, I'm keeping my shirt.
Yeah, definitely are. I thought they put an incredible shift in, and the GPS data tells us that as well. So, my eye told me they put a shift in, they defended, they blocked. Hopefully they'll all be available again come the weekend. I know we had a couple of bumps and bruises from Tuesday, but I'd like to think that after that type of performance, they want to be back out there again and making it difficult, saying, well, I'm available, you drop me if you can. So that's the problem that I want to have.
We've booked the trend of the division in many ways with taking points from having gone behind, but it shows on Tuesday night, League Two in particular, if you go ahead, you give yourself such a chance of winning that game.
That's the same every level. First goal is massive. You know, when you go up against a team like Grimsby, who's struggling a little bit at home to get results as well, not so much in their performance, but more about getting results. If you get the first goal, it gives you a hell of a platform to build from, and it makes them open up and chase the game as well. You know, we saw against Newport, with them going 1-0 up, how they can kill the game and how they can make it difficult. Grimsby couldn't do that. They had to come at us. Maybe that's what opened it up a little bit for our second goal. Second half, they threw everything at us and we weren't able to keep the ball to create any more chances. But if we could have done, I do think that we could have opened them up and got more chances to score if we were able to keep the ball better. And that's something we have to do against Crewe. We have to start the game right. We've got to make sure that we've got the right mentality, make sure we get our noses in front, and then keep the ball better and hopefully have a good performance.
And you've done something you wanted to do. The crowd average here at home is up at the moment, like for last season. We want to keep them with us.
Yeah, we have to. And the truth is, the only way to do that is to win games. Football supporters want to see a winning team, so you know we've got ourselves into a good position. So hopefully they'll come this weekend. I've said that all along. We need as many as we possibly can in Brunton Park to make it a good place for our players to play, and hopefully we can entertain them and keep them coming back.